groom wanted to marry the father's daughter, the bride, he would go to the father and he would ask him, hey, can I marry your daughter? And at that point in time, the father of the bride would ask for a dowry fee. Now, some of us are thinking, what is he pimping out his? Is he pimping out his daughter? Is this his winning lottery ticket? Is this, his retirement plan? This is what he's doing. He's waiting for this man to come along so he can sell his daughter to this man. No, that's not what's happening. That's the wrong way to look at it. What's actually taking place is that the father's looking to this man. He wants to know what she's worth to him. He wants to know that he values her, that he's even worthy for her. And that's how he does it, by showing what he'll give for her. And sometimes this was done and accomplished through service in the family. Maybe he would go and serve that family for some time. And Jacob's a prime example. We briefed on him last week, and that dude worked for Laman, I think his name was. He worked for him for 20 years for Rachel. Now, yeah, he got Leah, and he got Rachel, but he got duped into Leah. Let's not lie. He was doing it for Rachel. And I know he did 7 years for each one, but he stayed 6 more years after that. And so he put 20 years of his life in for Rachel. And so that shows his level of commitment and dedication for Rachel. Yes, now granted, he lived 147 years, but still, even with that kind of a lifespan, 20 years is still a lot to give. If we give 20 years, that's like 25% of our life, if we're lucky to live that long. So, I would say that he paid the dowry fee for Rachel, did he not? He sure did. Now, what about our groom? What about our groom? Did he pay the dowry fee for us? He did. He paid the dowry fee for us. I mean, he gave more than 20 years. He gave everything. He gave his physical life, but first, he came down from the throne. And he put on these filthy rags that we call flesh, and he walked around amongst us to be rejected, to be spit on, to be mistreated in all kinds of ways, for people to disobey him, to shame him, and then to seize him and beat him, whip him with, what do they have? They have shards? What do they have on those ends of those whips? What are they called? Yeah, hooks, basically. Yes. So it's not just a whip, man. They're ripping and cutting flesh 39 times. 39 times. And then they put a garment on him after that. And then, as that blood begins to harden, clot, it sticks to this garment, is what happens. And then they remove the garment from him. It's like getting those 39 lashes all over again. They put the crown of thorns on him. They press that right down to his head. And then after he's been beat all night long, this has been going on, then they throw this heavy cross on him, expecting him to drag it some kind of a distance. He doesn't even have the energy or the strength to do it. It takes another man helping him to get it to Golgotha. Then they nail him to it, to his hands and his feet. And you have to understand that then they would lift him up on this pole, and it would drop in a hole. Now, as a builder who's built many pole barns, I understand the jarring effect that takes place when that pole hits the bottom of the hole. So imagine that taking place. after everything you already been through, it says that he was so marred and dismembered that they couldn't even recognize him. So, imagine that. You know Jesus, you know what he looks like, and you didn't know this happened, but you walk by, you see the three hanging on the crosses. He's in the middle, but you don't even notice him because you can't even recognize him. That's how bad it is. So did he pay a dowry fee for us? Yeah, he did. He most certainly did. So, continuing on in the Jewish tradition of marriage, to give you that graphic understanding of what's been paid for us. What would happen is once they made that dowry fee, once he said, this is what I'm willing to pay for your daughter to be my bride, if that was acceptable by the father of the bride, the next thing they would do is they would have a family meeting. The two families would come together, and the two fathers would go off. The two fathers are going off. They're doing the paperwork. They're doing the negotiating, the business side of it. They're bringing in, this is my family lineage. This is my family lineage. They're making sure they're pure, this sort of stuff. They're also making sure that they have documents so that when they reproduce, they know what their family tree is and this kind of thing. While the rest of the family's commingling, and what they're doing is they're seeing if this is going to work or not, because they recognize that it's not just two becoming one, but it's two families merging together. This is something else that we see is lost in today's society right now. Nobody checks to see if this is going to work with these two families. How often do we see, even just on TV, and the butt end of the joke's always about the in-laws and stuff like that. So they're not making sure that the families are even compatible. So this is what they would do at that point in time. And once they've done that, they realize, okay, look, yes, he's proven himself worthy. He's going to pay the fee. Okay, our families get along. Okay, we can merge together. This is going to work. They strike an agreement. They make an agreement. It's called betrothing. Okay? This betrothing process could last as much as 6 months' time. And we're familiar with the betrothing process because we read about it when we talk about Joseph and Mary. They were betrothed to one another. This was a contract because what did it say? Joseph sought to divorce her. See, but yet their marriage hasn't been finalized yet. They haven't showed up to the feast. They haven't consummated that marriage. But yet there's still a contractual agreement because a divorce is required. Yet he sought to do it in secret. So this is a contractual agreement between the two. The two of them belong to one another. The two of them belong to one another.